Hi to you all. It's early morning here as I make this video. Another video on retirement, long-term retirement. I've already made about 12, placed 7 so far. It's just amazing how many people like yourself are interested in the subject of retirement. I guess if you're still working and you're getting towards the end of your working life, I can understand that. But there are even younger people thinking, what am I going to do when I retire? Which seems to indicate to me that a lot of people are not satisfied with their working life at present. I think it's very important to get into something that you really like to do. If you can't do that through your work, then at least make time to develop hobbies, interests, which you can carry forward when you retire. When I took voluntary redundancy back in 1995, I approached it with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of passion, because I thought to myself, I'm not really going to retire. I'm going to do something that I like to do, and I'll get paid for it. And my ambition at that time was to become a professional public speaker. I'd been in Toastmasters for a long while, joined in 1972, and had given lots of presentations to big audiences outside of Toastmasters, sometimes numbering in their hundreds, and I loved it. And this is what I was going to do when I retired, so I thought. But I didn't. I just couldn't bring myself somehow, even though I'd done a course on business management, managing my own business, etc., joined National Speakers Association, the professional body, I couldn't bring myself to put the advertisements out there. Then I realised, and you could realise this too, that what you imagine you want to do when you retire isn't what you really want to do. I'd had the last year of my life, working life, doing a little bit of presentation, but I'd had to journey away from home and give a workshop in the daytime and then perhaps another workshop the following day in the same place. And I found it wasn't the life I wanted. Sure, the presentation, the preparation, all of that, I love that. What I didn't love was the travel, to have to stay in a motel or a hotel all by myself, eat by myself, watch the television in the evening, and absolutely be bored silly. And I realised that I didn't want to be thumping and bumping up and down escalators with a suitcase, waiting at airport terminals, because this is what professional speakers do. They spend a lot of time on the road. But I'm getting away from the subject a bit. In retirement, I found that it took me a long while to start to find what I really wanted to do. I knew I was into speaking, so with another person, we would go down to visit jails, sometimes high security jails, to start a Toastmaster club. But then this was satisfying for a while until you realised that the club members would all be taken away from you if they were suddenly all transferred to another location. So the thing would all fall apart. Then I tried mission employment, endeavouring to get people jobs, teaching them interviewing skills. So difficult. And unless you're getting satisfaction out of it, in retirement, you're doing it voluntarily, you give it up. You want something that's rewarding to you, not necessarily in a monetary sense, but in the psychological sense, the feeling that you are enjoying it. This can take you some time. It probably took me maybe 6 months to a year, going from one thing to another, maybe even longer. Probably until 1995, until about 2000. Well, that's 5 years, isn't it? Searching different types of occupation until I finally found a thing called U3A, University of the Third Age, where I stayed for 10 years. And in those 10 years, joined other classes and even taught my own class for 8 years. For 8 years, I did a presentation called Inner Quest, Our Search for Happiness, Body, Mind and Spirit, and loved it. So there we have it. First 15 years or so of my retirement. I've now been retired 28 years, but I'm not going to talk about the whole time here, other than to say to you, when you retire, develop things that you really want to do before you retire. Be fit and well when you retire, and carry those passions, those interests with you into your retirement. These are what will keep you going. These are what will keep you happy. Find a purpose, doing what you love to do, helping others. That's the secret. It might take you some time to get around to it, but you will eventually. And when you do, it promises you, because of your own enthusiasm for life, your own passion, you'll probably have a long and happy retirement. I hope you got something out of this particular presentation on a subject I'm sure it's very dear to you: retiring and retiring happily.